and I feel like I'm not going to have any time to record this, but I wanted to tell you about the moment I decided to create this book. I remember I was taking positive psychology. I was in a different course with a leader. It's like a leadership course, and I was reading a book about self-esteem. I never think that these things are too much, because all I have to tell myself is, like, remember when you went to school and you had, you know, math, science, English, and whatever. I feel like I have that capacity and you have that capacity, so I can be in a course for leadership and be reading a book about self-esteem, and in a different course for positive psychology. I don't think that that's not a doable thing, and I can still be a mom, and I can still be a housekeeper, and I can still be all of the things that I need to be, that I choose to be. So, and I can come on here and share the story. At the time, I didn't have the capacity to share anything because I was going through some turmoil. There was a lot of shifts in my personal life and in my work life and in our home life and in other circles that I belong to. They're shifting too, and we're still sort of finding we're rooted, but things are still happening, right? Things are still happening around us, so we have to figure it out. And at the time, there was so much going on that I needed all these classes, I needed all these courses, I needed all this inspiration, and I needed all this guidance. And so I write all of the things down in one actual planner that I use on a daily basis, on every single day. And so I would go back and what I wrote about something, and it would trigger me on the course or the subject or the class, and or the speech of the class. It's, you know what I'm saying? But and then I would go, oh yeah, I can shift my mind. Don't believe your thoughts. That's not real. Or I could just do that, right? So I started writing little bullet points, and I wanted to know what it was like. What is this thing, right? So then I wanted to know where it was coming from. So if it, then I started to do self-trust, or this is part of inner authority, or the big one for me was emotional safety. I didn't feel safe in a lot of the spaces I was in. And so that was like, wow, okay. So then I realized that all these things had to do with self-worth. So then, of course, I went into like this deep dive on what self-worth was, right? And in that moment, when I came into one of like, it was a bad day for me. And it was a day where I needed all this, like, I'm a really good coach to myself. I'm like, no, don't think that way. That's negative, blah, blah, blah. Like I coach myself really good. And I'm proud of that. So anyway, let me have a moment. And so at that point, I have created, this is just what I do. When I study something, I jot it down, the things that are important to me, the things this is the way I learn. So when I realized that I had this system, this framework that I came back to coach me on strengthening what I was strengthening me, right? I was strengthening how I feel, because I wanted to feel better. I didn't want to diminish me. I didn't want to hit my self-worth anymore. And I'm using that word now, but really I didn't want to feel less than. I didn't want to feel not seen. I didn't want to feel all these things. So I would come back to this little note system that I created for myself. And at some point I thought, I started to feel better, because I started to research on all of these pillars, and I started to do like little, I coach myself. So I started to do little like things to strengthen self-trust. I started to do little things to strengthen boundaries. I started to do like little things I could do every single day to strengthen my emotional safety. And those, for emotional safety, it was like shifting beliefs. And so on some, I had to do like little things like, oh, if you say you're going to get up at 7, get up at 7. And I mean, I will share these with you eventually, but I remember the day I was sitting there and I thought, oh, I am going to create a book that I can come back to, because I'm coming back to this all of the time. And so that's when it started. It started because I wanted to make a book for myself. I wanted to really actually be sort of like a workbook, it's a workbook, right? But I had made a planner in the past for fitness, I remember, and I realized that, like my planner now, I love my planner now, and I didn't want to make another planner because I love the planner that I have, and I didn't want to carry 2 planners because that's what happened when I created the fitness planner. And I'm practical and I'm doing too many things all at the same time most of the time. So having 2 planners for me that doesn't work out. But when I feel a certain kind of way, I will stop production, and I go, okay, you need something. Like if I know I need to meditate, I need to meditate. If I know I need to take some time for entertainment, then I need to take some time for entertainment. If I need to call a friend and say, hey, do you want to meet up for coffee, then I call it, because I know what I need, right? I've been working on this process of getting to know myself, and sometimes I need to be with people and sometimes I don't need to be with people. So when I was doing all this work, I wanted to do something that would help me come back to alignment. And this is, from the inside out, right? If I feel good inside, then I'm fine on the outside. Like, it's bring it. It's kind of like what I say. But when you're feeling good, nothing bad happens. Nothing bad can happen. And I know that sounds extremely positive, because it's just the way I like to live my life. But, things will always happen in life, but it's just a matter of how you see them. And I work on that constantly. I'm constantly working on that. So this is the book that happened because I was struggling. I was in the struggle bus. I've heard somebody say that before, and I just needed, so to me now, I see the book, I see the anything that has to do with the book, and I know I can do this. I know that I've done the work. I know that I can go back to it. I know that I'm aware, and I know that I can, I know that I now feel emotionally safe in this body. By the way, I just threw this jacket on. This is what I'm gonna sleep in. But I just wanted to come on here and tell you that moment where I was like propelled forward into creating this thing. That's it. That is how it happened, all through little bullet points and check boxes on, did you do all the right things to trust yourself today? Did you do all the right things to, and I get these things from everywhere, right? I couldn't believe that they're not all in one place. And of course, this isn't the book for everyone. Everyone's going to just feel all of the things I feel, because we all need things from different people, right? Different avenues. We need to pay attention to all of the things. But in my particular case, I know that this book helps me, and when